up, party people? It's April the Sci-Fi Mombie, and I'm back for another mini Mombie on the Oscar-nominated The Holdovers, which is kind of a term for people who get stuck at their boarding school during the holidays. Pretty much what this is about. So, it stars Paul Giamatti. He plays instructor Paul Hewnan. Davine Joy Randolph is Mary Lamb. Dominic, and I hope I say her last name right, Sessa is Angus Tully. They are the main cast, and there's kind of some BS behind the scenes with some of the other professors where one makes up a lie that his mom has lupus, so he has to go take care of her so he could get out of watching after the holdovers. But there's like 6 or 7, and because they can't get a hold of Angus's mom and stepdad, he has to stay behind while the other boys get to go to Boston or New York and spend the holidays with somebody else. But it is a very funny movie. The dynamic between Paul Giamatti and Dominic Sessa is amazing. The dynamic between Paul Giamatti and Davine Joy Randolph is amazing. The cast just comes together. And Paul Giamatti's worked with the director Alexander Payne before on Sideways. So the chemistry is there. It's a really good movie. Dominic Sessa plays a child who his father has, I guess you could say, early onset Alzheimer's. So he's been put in a sanitarium, and his mother and Angus's mom has remarried, and his stepdad is not a very nice person. And of course, Paul Hewnan wants to run everything by the book. So he makes them study. He hands out detentions. Yeah, I think I'd want to run away fast and noisy too. Mary Lamb stays behind to cook them meals and clean up after them. I mean, there's a janitor, and everybody else is gone for the holidays. So the other boys leave, and it just leaves Paul and Angus and Mary behind, along with the janitor. And I apologize, I don't have his name. But they're trying to make the most of it, and Angus acts out because he's trying to get kicked out of school. But unfortunately, if he does that again, he's going to go to military school. Nobody wants that. So Paul, the teacher, is trying to get him to calm down and focus, and come to find out they have a lot in common. Paul, the teacher, was abandoned. His mother died, and he pretty much left home to be by himself. And Angus is kind of the same way. He's been forced into a boarding school. He doesn't want to be there. He's behind in school because of his behavior. That movie kind of hit home for me because of certain things going on in our family. Mary Lamb, this is all set during 1970, 1971. Mary Lamb loses her son to Vietnam, and he was a student of the same boarding school because she worked there. She made sure that he got a good education while he was there. But it just goes to show that you think people are going to give up on those who have behavior issues, but there's an underlying reason why people act the way they do. And sometimes we as a society just move too fast to pay attention. I know I do that myself. My boys, Tony has ADHD, Vic has anxiety, but there's a lot underneath, and their behavior is a representation of that. There's another boy there that picked on everybody, but he was having family trouble at home. So, um, Paul, the teacher, gives out this book. I forgot the name of it, for Christmas to everybody. And it's like, this is my Bible. This is how I, pulled myself up at 15 and got myself through it. But come to find out, he went to Harvard and something happened. I won't reveal what happened, but he got kicked out. And the dean of the boarding school, that because this same boarding school took him in as a kid, brought him in as a teacher, as an instructor, adjunct, and he stayed there the whole time. Tons of kids came in and out of his classroom, um, but it's a good story. It flowed nicely. The boarding school was fascinating. The cinematography was nice, and of course, it's set during Christmas, so it's like 2 weeks straight of snow and solace. They made them sleep in the infirmary so that he could watch them all. It's well worth your time to watch it because there's a lot of subtle humor in it that makes you laugh. Like when Angus is acting out, they told him, no, you can't go in the gym, stay away from the gym. Well, he takes off for it. And there's equipment in there for gymnastics, and he does like a pole vault type thing, and he lands on his shoulder and dislocates his shoulder. And Paul, the instructor, is like horrified, and he's got to take him to the hospital to have his shoulder pop back in, and um, just silly things like that, where Angus acts out, and then Paul has to kind of clean it up behind him. But then again, Angus covers for Paul as well, so it was pretty good. It's really a great movie. Take the time to watch it. It's streaming on Peacock right now because it's a Universal Studios movie. It is nominated for several Oscars. Paul Giamatti for Best Actor. Davine Joy Randolph for Best Actress. She's actually won pretty much all the awards all season for this role, and I can see why. My grandfather served in Vietnam. He did 2 tours. To lose a child to an unresolved war is difficult. But she does get a little ray of hope when her sister is pregnant, and she brings her son's baby clothes to visit her sister during Christmas. So that was a very heartfelt scene when she's putting away the baby clothes, her son's baby clothes, in her nephew's chest of drawers. It was really, I shed a couple tears during that one because losing anybody is hard. So, but go watch it. It's worth it. I mean, I'd like to see it take home some awards. I even think it deserves Best Picture, but it's got really stiff competition with Oppenheimer and American Fiction and all the other ones that are nominated. So, all right, party people, take the time and watch it. It's pretty funny. It's a good heartfelt story that we don't see very much in Hollywood right now. So do it. Go watch it. All right, later, party people.
There'll be just 4 boys holding over this Christmas. Please, at least pretend to be a human being.
Mr. Hunnam isn't easy to like.
Do you think I want to be babysitting you? I could have been spending the rest of my vacation reading mystery novels.
But the New York Times, Vanity Fair, Entertainment Weekly, and top critics everywhere are falling in love with the Holdovers.
It's outside attention!
I thought all the Nazis were hiding in Argentina.
Stifle it, Tully.
Director Alexander Payne reunites with Paul Giamatti for the first time since Sideways, and the result is pure movie magic.
Hey there, handsome. You want a date?
We're finally getting to the good stuff.
The Holdovers is one of the finest of Payne's career. It's raucously funny and irresistibly entertaining. It's a perfect 10.
I think you're erratic and belligerent.
Are you trying to look down my shirt?
No. Yes.
But you've got time to turn things around.
Yeah, I was going to tell you the same thing.
The Holdovers.